Every single day, America racks up over $3 billion in new debt. That's not just numbers on a screen. It's a permanent economic sinkhole, swallowing wealth, opportunity, and our future. By the time this video ends, billions more will already be gone. And the question isn't if we can fix it. The question is, how long can this last before the system finally breaks? To understand today's crisis, we need to rewind. For decades, Washington promised the American dream, while quietly mortgaging it away. Tax cuts ballooned deficits. Wars dragged on for years with trillion-dollar price tags. Entitlement programs grew larger, yet no one dared confront the math. Then came COVID. Washington opened the fire hose. Stimulus checks, bailouts, relief packages, trillions created out of thin air. The Federal Reserve slashed rates to near zero, printing cheap money to keep the system alive. But cheap money never lasts. Rates rose, and suddenly the bill came due. Today, debt service, the cost of paying just the interest, is exploding. And here's the chilling truth. It's no longer just about what America owes. It's about how much of your paycheck is being siphoned off to cover those interest payments to creditors. Behind this debt spiral are the players who profit. Wall Street, which makes billions trading treasuries. Politicians, who give speeches about fiscal responsibility while voting for more spending year after year. And foreign governments, from China to Japan, that hold trillions in U.S. debt, quietly holding leverage over America's future. This isn't bipartisan mismanagement. It's bipartisan betrayal. Both sides profit from a system that bleeds the public while protecting their donors. Now, let's look at the numbers. The part no soundbite can hide. U.S. debt has climbed past 120% of GDP, levels we haven't seen since World War II. But here's the difference. Back then, we grew our way out. Today, growth is slowing, while interest rates make every borrowed dollar heavier. In fact, interest payments alone are projected to surpass America's defense budget. Think about that. The United States will spend more on paying creditors than defending its own citizens. And the gap is only widening. Debt is rising faster than wages, faster than productivity, faster than GDP itself. The math is simple. The system is unsustainable. The warning signs are flashing. Treasury auctions are showing weaker demand. Investors want higher yields before lending to America. Credit rating agencies have issued downgrades, a symbolic reminder that the U.S. is not untouchable. And talk of a U.S. default, once dismissed as fear-mongering, is no longer unthinkable. Even whispers of that possibility send shockwaves through financial markets. The tension is undeniable. America is one bad decision away from testing the very foundation of the global financial system. This is what economists call the debt-death spiral. The government borrows to pay interest. That increases the debt. The debt forces higher rates. And higher rates force even more borrowing. A vicious cycle with no off-ramp. And here's the hidden danger. What we see, the $34 trillion in official debt, is only part of the story. Beneath the surface are unfunded liabilities, Social Security, Medicare, pensions, promises worth tens of trillions more, with no realistic way to pay for them. The U.S. isn't just facing a debt crisis. It's facing the slow collapse of a financial model built on the assumption that tomorrow's growth will always pay for today's spending. But tomorrow's growth is slowing, and the spiral has already begun. This is no longer about if the system cracks. It's about when. So what happens when the debt spiral snaps? Ordinary Americans are the first to bleed. Inflation eats into paychecks. Taxes creep higher. The dollar weakens, making imports costlier. Families feel the pain in every grocery aisle, every rent payment, every retirement account shrinking in value. Meanwhile, the winners are clear. Investors in hard assets, Land, commodities, gold protect their wealth. Corporations with political capture adapt and profit. Wall Street always finds a way to feed on chaos. But Main Street? Main Street gets the bill. The debt story isn't just about numbers, it's about values. A system that rewards short-term greed while ignoring long-term survival. A political machine that chooses votes today over stability tomorrow. We are living inside the largest debt experiment in human history, and no experiment runs forever. So don't believe the headlines telling you this is manageable. It isn't. Learn, prepare, and demand accountability. If this breakdown opened your eyes, subscribe for deeper analysis. Share this with someone who still thinks US debt is just numbers. And tell me your story in the comments, because numbers don't lie, and they can collapse civilizations.